In fact, Pakistan does, of course, have a lot of questions ahead of them, and we also need to talk about the fact that Pakistan now is talking about India not agreeing to come. But the problem, Joseph, I think, also the question that needs to be asked here is that what was Pakistan cricket doing all this while? Because India, if you look at India, India has not said anything new. It is our same stance since 2008. We do not go to Pakistan. India has maintained its stance. Pakistan knew this beforehand. But now, with the countdown for the tournament beginning, suddenly Pakistan seems to have realized. Or do you think, Joseph, this was a strategy by Pakistan? They decided that we'll build the stadiums, we'll have the infrastructure ready. In the last moment, we'll pressure the ICC to get India to play. And well, that hasn't happened. And now we're looking at this complete mess.
See, Pakistan needs money. Let's be very frank about that. Their board is in shambles. They don't have the money. If somebody is trying to help them build their infrastructure, it's great. ICC is stepping in and saying, okay, we're going to do this. But if Pakistan still thinks that they can get away by throwing their weight around and saying India has to come to Pakistan, it's not going to happen. And as Vedam rightly said, this tournament will never happen without India because India is what brings the money. So ICC just rules that out. So best thing for Pakistan board, it cannot do much if you really ask me. They're just a cricket board. They can't do much with what's happening within their country and the terrorism aspect or whatever it is. They can't do much about it and they have no say in that. Whoever their board's president or secretary, whoever that be, they just can't do much. Just have to accept what's been happening. And if they were thinking that they would cajole India or force India to come and play in Pakistan, that was just a whimsical thought, I would say. But the way I look at it is whether Pakistan likes it or not.
Joseph, the reason why I said that is because that seems to be the strategy of Pakistan. Because I think everyone on both sides of the border knew what India's decision was going to be at the end of the day. And Pakistan, of course, did not address the elephant in the room. They decided that, well, we'll take it to the last minute and probably get India to play somehow. But again, it's not happening now and it looks like a complete mess. Bimal Soni, former manager of the Indian cricket team, joins us right now. Bimalji, welcome on the broadcast. We are, of course, talking about India and Pakistan and the drama around the Champions Trophy. And we've, of course, been talking a lot about India and Pakistan. Let's also talk about the ICC, which is, of course, the father figure here. ICC. Now, ICC says that bilateral between India and Pakistan, well, they don't want to do it. It's a decision between the two teams. But when it comes to an event that is organized by the ICC looks pretty toothless right now because it's India that's calling the shots and it's Pakistan that's making statements on the other side. What's ICC's role in this?
Well, ICC has a role to play, but they also know that it's the government order or basically the relationship between the two countries where India can't travel to Pakistan. Even if BCCI wanted, they would not get permission from Government of India. So in that matter, ICC has to look into it that for success of their tournament, which is a big tournament for them, and also India is not, the BCCI is not doing it, is the permission which they are not getting from Government of India. So for security reasons, of course. So naturally, they have to go for the hybrid model. Now it's upon Pakistan. And what I feel is Pakistan is playing around, putting pressure, and ultimately, I think they will agree on the hybrid model because they would not like to lose money which they would get from this Champions Trophy. And India is playing the TV rights, the money which comes because of India, they would not like to miss it. So I think that you will see a change in Pakistan's attitude once they are confirmed that India is not coming to play there. As far as the hybrid model is concerned, I think that's the best option. Right. Pakistan can't lose Champions Trophy hosting because that will be a great financial loss to Pakistan board, which is already not in good shape as the Indian board. So I think that this is a pressure tax from Pakistan. Although Indian board has not played around anything, it is the policy decision of the government where the BCCI has to follow it.
Right. I mean, you're talking about, Bimalji, I just have to interrupt you there because you're talking about the hybrid model and now Pakistan is going to turn around and say in 1996, I believe West Indies and Australia decided to not play the World Cup in Sri Lanka, and then there was no hybrid model. ICC did not give anyone the option of a hybrid model. In 2003, England refused to play in Harare. I think New Zealand refused to play in Kenya. They were also not given an option of a hybrid model. So Pakistan is now going to say, when these countries were not given an option of hybrid model because they did not want to play, what's so special about India? I mean, if you give India that option, that's partiality.
In what you're saying, but things have changed since then. ICC knows that the game has become a commercial venture also, and India has contributed a lot in the growth of international cricket by way of finance. So ICC would like this finance to further the cricket in this world. And I think so, hybrid model, if they get good money, they are able to organize better cricket in overall standing, they would go for it. But it entirely depends on how members of the ICC discuss and take a decision. As far as I think.
All right, Bimalji, I think Vedam also wants to add to this. Vedam, go ahead. You were talking about the hybrid model, and of course I mentioned teams like West Indies and Australia and teams like New Zealand and England in the past as well, who have proven the security issue and decided to not tour. And even in tournaments like the World Cup, they were not given an option of a hybrid model. Why should India be given it? I mean, that's going to be the argument that Pakistan will put forward.
Argument does not hold good at all, because it was an entirely different model. Those days, the tournament was given to the host. Whoever would host the tournament, they would have to raise the money, they would have to get all the money, etc., etc. The property belonged to that particular host. Now, that's not the case. Every property of this belongs to ICC. And ICC in turn will give it to somebody to host. But the sponsors, etc., are brought by ICC. It's not like before, where the host country was expected to bring in the sponsors, bring in the telecasters, bring in the whole lot of things. No, now all the rights, everything belongs to ICC. So it's a totally different model, and Pakistan cannot throw that what happened to when Philcom, that it was Philcom that time, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, what Philcom did, when Australia and England refused to travel to Sri Lanka, saying that it was an unsafe place. That was a different model. This is a different model. And there is no way. I mean, Pakistan has nothing. It only hosts the tournament. And for hosting it, it's given some money to conduct the tournament and conduct it very well and very successfully. That's it. There is, and besides that, of course, they'll get a share of the profits, which the ICC makes. The profits that ICC makes, because the property is ICC's. So the other model that you mentioned doesn't hold good at all.